I'd marry you at the bus station, Evie. I mean that. That was written in November of 1944 by a 23-year-old kid named Russell, sitting in the mud somewhere in France. I'm Michael, and this is the Unread Letters. Well, hello there. Come on in. Good to have you with me. Now, this is something new, a little different from what we usually do around here. Most days on this channel, somebody sends me their story and tells it to you in their own voice. But this is quieter than that. This is the Unread Letters. Here's the idea. People write letters they never send. You know the kind. Written late at night, folded up, stuck in a drawer. Sometimes it's a letter to somebody who's gone. Sometimes the person who wrote it just couldn't bring themselves to mail it. And sometimes, and this is the one that gets me, sometimes they sent it and it just never got where it was going. No guests today. Nobody here to explain themselves, nobody to ask questions of. Which, honestly, makes my job a whole lot easier. I just have to sit here and read. Anybody can do that. I could have been doing this the whole time, but it's not easy. Not this one. Because today's letter was written in November of 1944 by a young man named Russell, 23 years old, sitting somewhere in France in 6 days of rain, writing home to the girl he'd asked to marry him 11 days before he shipped out. Her name was Evelyn. She was in Ohio, waiting. And I want you to keep one thing in your head the whole way through. Just one thing. Russell doesn't know anything. Not one thing. He's just a kid, in the mud, writing to his girl about a house he's going to build her. We know more than he does, and that's the hardest part. All right, here it is, in his own words. My dear Evie, they won't let me tell you where we are. I can tell you it's been raining for 6 days, and the mud here has got a personality all its own. Fella from Toledo named Petey lost a boot in it yesterday. Just gone. Standing there in his sock, hollering at the ground like it owed him money. So don't you worry about morale. Morale's fine. I got your letter from the 8th. I've read it about 40 times. I keep it inside my helmet liner along with the picture. The one from the county fair, where you're squinting because the sun was in your eyes, and you were mad at me for making you stand there. That's my favorite picture that's ever been taken of anybody. Evie, I want to tell you about the house. I know. You'll say I'm getting ahead of myself. But there's a lot of sitting around in this business, and a man's got to put his mind somewhere, so I've been putting mine on that house. I've got it drawn out. I keep the drawing folded up in my breast pocket, and it's getting awful soft at the creases from me taking it out. Here's what it is. It's white. 2 bedrooms, for now. There's a porch. A real porch, not one of those little stoops, but the wide kind, wide enough for 2 chairs and a table between them for the coffee. I've been building that porch in my head for 4 months now. I know exactly how the boards run. The kitchen window faces east. That's important, and I thought hard on it. You always said the mornings were the best part of the day, and everybody wastes them. So you'll have the light coming in while you're standing there, right on your hands. There's a yard for a dog. I already know we're getting a dog. Don't argue with me about the dog, Evie. I've made up my mind. I don't know what it'll cost. Petey says there'll be loans for fellas coming back. And I've got a little saved, and I'll work. I'll work at anything. I don't care what it is. I'd sweep floors. It doesn't matter to me anymore what I do, as long as I get to come home to it every night, and you're there. That's the part I think about most. Not the wedding, though I think about that too. It's the coming home part. Just the plain, everyday coming home. Opening a door and having somebody on the other side of it who's glad it's you. I never knew a man could want something that simple, that bad. Now listen, about the wedding. Your mother is going to want to wait until spring so she can do it properly, with the flowers and the whole business. and I want you to tell her something for me. Tell her I have been very patient. Tell her I have been patient across an entire ocean, and I am fresh out. I want to get married as soon as I set foot in that town. I don't care if it's snowing. I don't care if it's in the church basement with 3 people and your uncle's accordion. I'd marry you at the bus station, Evie. I mean that. They're saying we might have this thing wrapped up by Christmas. I don't put too much stock in what they say, but the boys who've been over here a long while, they seem to think it's turning. So I've got it in my head. Christmas. That's what I'm holding to. Picture it. Snow on that porch. You and me on the steps. I'd like to be there for Christmas dinner at your folks'. I'd like your father to look across the table and finally decide, I'm all right. He'll come around. I'm going to wear him down with sheer politeness. Evie. I'm going to say one thing and then I'm going to stop, because if I say much more, I'll get sloppy and Petey will never let me hear the end of it. There are nights over here that are hard. I won't pretend they aren't. And when they get hard, I don't think about home in general. Home is too big. I can't hold all of it. So I think about that porch, just the porch, the 2 chairs and the table between them. And I put you in one chair, and I put me in the other one, and we're not even talking, we're just sitting there. And it's an ordinary Tuesday, and nothing special is happening at all. That's the picture. That's the one that gets me through. So don't you go anywhere. Don't you dare let some 4F with a car and a good haircut come around and turn your head, because I am coming back for you. And I've got a porch to build, and a dog to name, and a whole life to start. Write me. Tell me about ordinary things. Tell me what your mother's cooking and what the weather did. You'd be amazed what a man will read 4 times over out here. I'll see you soon. I really believe that. All my love, Evie. Every bit of it. Yours, Russell. Yeah. I'll see you soon. I really believe that. Russell was killed on the 17th of December, 1944, just over a month after he wrote that. And here's the thing about mail in a war. It's slow. Telegrams aren't. So the telegram from the War Department reached that house in Ohio first. Evelyn read it, standing in her mother's front hall. And then 9 days later, 9 days after she already knew, the letter came. The one you just heard. The porch. The dog. The kitchen window facing east so the morning light would fall on her hands. She opened a letter from a man she'd already buried, and he was still making plans. I've been sitting with that for 2 weeks, and I don't know that I've got anything wise to say about it. I'm not sure there is anything. But I'll tell you what I keep coming back to. He wasn't wrong about anything. That's what gets me. He wasn't foolish. He wasn't naive. Everything in that letter was true. He did love her. He would have built that porch. He would have named that dog. He would have worn her father down with sheer politeness. All of it was real. The world just didn't let it happen. There's a difference between a promise that gets broken and a promise that gets stopped. And I think we don't sit with that difference enough. Now, there's one more thing, and it's the reason I'm reading you this letter at all. Evelyn lived a long life. She married, some years later, a good man by all accounts. Raised 3 children,